Hello and welcome to this video. We're going to do a quick springtime tune-up on our lawnmower before we have to start running it every couple of days. This one in particular is a bad boy Maverick, zero turn, but what we're doing to it, the actual tune-up, is really similar across all brands and all engines. Positions might be a little bit different, but the concept's the same. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. I've just moved it over here, so there's a little bit of heat in the motor, which is actually a little bit preferable if you can get it just a smidgen warm. That way the oil will flow out better. So my first thing is going to be to flip this seat up out of the way just to give a little more room back here where we're going to be working. So for the oil change, we're going to need a bucket. We're going to stick it up under here because these have this awesome little drain hose that makes it super easy. And we'll have to find the right wrench sizes for that, and I'll show you up close. So this is on the left-hand side of this mower. Down in this little cubby. See, that is our drain hose. I'm going to feed it through this chassis hole, and then I can take the cap off and let it drain. This big cap is what comes off of the end of that hose. So now we've got that draining, and we can go ahead and jump forward to something else. And hopefully we don't have to remove that whole big shroud. If you wanted to know the sizes for this was a 13/16, but I just used an adjustable wrench to get on there. And the part on the hose that you need to put a wrench on so you can loosen this was an 11/16. Or that would put you in the neighborhood. Again, if you have a different model or something. Okay, so I was wrong. There's no way that we can get down in to this side's spark plug. So we're gonna have to pop this off. There's two bolts right here and two on the other side of this, and they seem to be a 13. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that off. I'm gonna use jack stands to hold this up. This model has our little fluid reservoirs here and here. I don't want to disconnect those and lose that fluid, because then you can get an air bubble in there, and that's a whole different headache. So we're going to leave those attached and try to do this just balanced on some jack stands. All right, so you can see here we've dropped it down and it's resting just fine on some jack stands, but that gives us the access to actually be able to reach right here to our spark plugs. Actually, that's still a hard thing to grip. It didn't give you much room to pinch on. But this side is even more congested with a throttle cable and a fuel line running across it. All right, let's see if we can get this popped off with fingers or if we've got to resort to something else. I'm gonna have to try a pair of needle nose pliers on it. I'm gonna pinch down here at the base. Yeah, that's in there pretty good. But if you use a pair of needle nose, you can kind of get it to wiggle a little bit, at least start to break it free. Now we've exposed the back end of our spark plug, we can go ahead and find one of the sockets that fit on that and get her out of there. This is what they call a spark plug socket. And what separates it from other ones is the shape is slightly different. And down in there, there's a rubber O-ring that's supposed to grab the end of our spark plug. However, most of them don't do that. And the really cheap ones, even brand new, straight from the store, won't grab them at all. But you only need to loosen it, and then you can finger and thumb it out. I like to always just take a quick peek just to see I'm not a professional enough to really know what I'm looking at, but I can tell if there's a lot of buildup or anything. And this is a pretty clean spark plug. You can see band across, it's all pretty equal, and there's not a ton of sludge buildup on it. So that's a really good sign. All right, so we need to check this gap on our spark plug here. And I don't have one of the circular spark plug gap checkers or feeler gauges, as they call it that way. I do have this style feeler gauge. And I've played around here with the sizes and looked in the manual. We need a 0.1 and a 0.2 to equal out to a 0.03. So you're going to take those, pinch them together, and see if that slides in there. And it's a little snug, which I was always told that is the way you want it. A little snug. So gap is good. We're ready to install it. All right, we're going to take our new plug. This aimed and kind of angled in there. Go. And just start tightening it in, just like normal. All right, that one did give me a little bit of troubles going back in. But now that we've got it in there and we've snugged it up, I don't go real tight with them, just a nice little on the tightness. And then take your wire, get that aimed back in here, and then push it, and you'll feel like a separate little click. And that's, give it one more good shove, that's in there and good. I'm going to go ahead and fight with the other side, and I'm not going to show any of that because that's, I'm going to fight with it. All right, so now that that's taken a little bit of time, and I'm filming it, so it takes a little bit longer to do some of this stuff too. Our oil has had a long time to drain. The oil filter is over here on this side. I'm going to go ahead and scooch my bucket towards that, and then we can go ahead and pop off this oil filter. I should probably put the cap back on there. Remember, we have this cap on our line down here. Oh, it's gotten harder to reach because I put stuff in the way. All right, we'll remember to snug that up here in a minute. Ow. Oil filter. There we go. Only made a minor mess this time with it. That oil filter is right down here. You can see the stem there. And you see how it's leaking out here? We're going to try to stop that, clean it up. And while we're looking, you can check and see your mating surface. That's this silver part. Let me see if I can get you in there. The ring around here is your mating surface. And that's what we want to check out. Make sure it's clean. All right, so we've snugged up our drain thing. We've inspected and wiped down the sealing area where this rubber gasket goes. Now we're ready to throw this back on. I always do the little rim of clean oil around it. That helps keep that gasket from ever getting stuck there. If you buy your replacement kit for this off of the internet, be aware this one came with a longer filter, so our gap between the post and the filter was extremely close tolerance. I might struggle getting this out later, but it actually was hitting right here. So, see what happens. Our next task is going to be the fuel filter here. You can see these little clamps. Some of these you can get by finger and move out of the way. Oh, no, these ones are tight. Sometimes you get lucky and can just pinch them. But if not, a pair of needle nose will work. We'll slide those clamps back, pop that hose out, spill gas on ourselves, and then get the new one in. All right, let's see if we can do this. I'll switch to a pair of channel locks for this. They've got a little bit wider teeth. Usually make this style of clamp easier to pinch. There we go. And once you get them twisting a little bit, they're easier to work free here, usually. You know what, this is gonna splash, so if you're sensitive, try to keep your eyes closed. There it goes. Ouch. So that's out. Grab the new one and throw it in. These usually have an arrow, and if you look real faintly, you can see it. That's the supply going in. So that's going to be this hose. Shove it back on there. And you just shove this one back in. And realign your hose clamps. I like to try to find the same spot they came from. That one's in place. That one's in place. And our fuel filter is done. All right, our last step here is going to be our air filter, which this has got this style flip. Pops up out of the way. And then this one, you can grab on the back side of it, pop up, slide it right out. And wow, this tray is clear full of soot and stuff. Let me show you. Look at all that crap in there. I'm going to vacuum that out while this is out before we put our nice clean one in. Our new air filter already came with the, what they call a pre-filter installed on it. That's this foam sleeve. So this one was already ready to go. Simply drop it in, line that big hole up with the hole here. Might have to give her a little shove. There we go. Drop that back in place. Stick your clip on, latch. Now we just need oil, and we are done with the tune-up. I apologize to y'all. I totally had forgot about a thing. The air filter here, we actually need to pull it apart here. And in the manual, it actually tells you to put a little bit of oil on this. I totally forgot that that was a step for this mower. I just have a little bit of, it's new but old conventional motor oil here. I'm gonna pour, come on. I'm gonna pour a little bit in there and work it in. Try to work it through the material there. It helps the dirt stick to it. I guess keeps that clean. Once we get that oil worked in there, I'm going to actually try to wipe it up just a little bit because you don't want it damp. You just want it light coating throughout it. And then we're just going to reassemble it like I showed earlier. So over on this side, you got this bright yellow. That's our dipstick. Pop that out of the way. Found a clean funnel. Stick that in there. And definitely is going to take a full quart. So we can go ahead and dump that in. And then we'll look in the manual and see what it says. All right, so the manual does say 2 quarts. I've stopped with about 4 ounces left in that one, just because I've listened to the manuals before on a couple of different things, and it severely overfills it. Sometimes they're just weird like that. I'm going to give this a quick check. Yeah, see, we're at the full right now. Of course, that'll change after we start it and run for a minute. All right, so at this point, we are done with the tune-up side of it. We've done spark plugs. We've done the oil change. Remember to tighten our hose down on the bottom. Tightened our oil filter. Changed our fuel filter. And our air filter is now changed. So what we need to do is put our big funky shroud thingy back on, again on this mower. And then the other thing is to hit a couple of grease points. And I'll show you where almost every mower has at least one. For grease points, these mowers should have something in the handle system. Sometimes, I think one had them out here. This one right here, hidden. See that? Dirt fitting. And then over here for our other handle. Another one hiding. So you should be able to find one. I mean, not every mower is going to have them, obviously, but most do have some kind of a grease area for your handles. And another one that has just about every time is in your wheel. And I just moved to a spot where you can't see that one. There we go. One down here, right here. And sometimes there's one under here. This is just a protective cap that should wiggle off. This one does not have them. It does, however, have several hiding up underneath the back. I'm not going to be able to get the camera up in there to show you. The manual does, though. All right, that concludes our quick tune-up tutorial / video. Hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something. Don't forget to recheck your oil after you've started it and ran it for a minute. I imagine I need to re-add that little bit that I kept out, just because it'll fill our oil filter. And then again, find your grease fittings, and you're all set for the season. Good luck and happy mowing.